This holiday season is one unlike any other. Families not able to spend as much time together because of pandemic. But as we sit 2 days from 2021, one thing that has been a saving grace has been iRacing. And tonight, we will race for a cause about our loved ones with four legs. Man's best friend meets iRacing tonight as we welcome you to the Irish Hills of Michigan for the Adopt an Underdog 124 at Michigan Speedway. Happy Eve of New Year's Eve to you. I am Chris Scala, honored to be with you this Wednesday evening. Joey Tevin joins me, and my good friend Sean Ambrose, who I thank for bringing me on board tonight, is running the show behind the scenes. And of course, Joey, tonight is the fast and wide 2-mile Michigan Speedway. Let's talk a little bit about this track. It's about 60 miles or so southwest of the Motor City, Detroit.
Welcome to the Michigan International Speedway. This 2-mile D-shaped oval located in the beautiful Irish Hills of southern Michigan, sitting about an hour and a half's drive to the southwest of Detroit along I-94, right in the backyard of Chevrolet and Ford. When you're that close to Detroit power, your speedway better live up to the hype. 18-degree banked corners with a 12-degree banked front stretch allow for maximum power and lots of action. The higher downforce Indy cars were able to put on spectacular shows of driver bravery and talent. In recent years, it's played host to mostly the tin top cars, as the NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, Gander Truck, and even ARCA Series have all hosted events here in the last decade. Michigan is a wide, sweeping oval, but it isn't harmless. The lowest groove of the corners near the bottom can be your very best friend in the IndyCar, but your worst enemy in the tin tops. Cars will frequently get loose that far down the track, causing chaos for the pack behind. Michigan is all about speed and lots of it. Often the drivers that find the most success here are the ones willing to experiment around the track and find grip their competitors haven't. The facility in recent years has doubled down on fan comfort as well, giving more elbow room, redoing seats, camping areas, even providing Wi-Fi to watch all of these live broadcasts in the grandstands of all the sections. All in all, Michigan has become a staple of American motorsports since it opened in 1968. Fans and drivers both always look forward to when the schedules come back to the beautiful Irish Hills of southern Michigan. Fast speeds, high action, it's all here at Michigan International Speedway, where it's your speed.
So there's the visual aspect of Michigan Speedway, thanks to the Michigander himself, Brian Yazik. Now, as I mentioned, Joey Tevin is with us this evening. Joey, let's talk about what we're going to see now on this track with this description of this track that was built back in the 60s.
Well, Michigan is, of course, a 2-mile D-shaped oval. It looks pretty simple on the outside, but once you get into it, it is surprisingly tricky and difficult. We've got 18 degrees banking, but the bottom groove is slightly less banked, so it's not really an ideal line compared to the top. But this race specifically will be 62 laps, 124 miles, and there's going to be a lot going on. So you want to go through some of that?
Yeah, we got one reset tonight, or a fast repair, as you might know it as. So that is going to put a little twist into it. You got 3 sets of tires laying in the pits. It is a fixed setup, and of course, all helping out the Rescue Racing charity event, which is, well, $2,000 already has been raised throughout 2020 for or from the team, I should say, which has achieved goals and objectives throughout the charity event, and itself has already raised $300+ thanks to just drivers signing up for this race. They've thrown money into the picture. Now tonight you can do the same. As you see, looking at the bottom down there in the race info, you'll see a link to the YouTube page that is set up for you to help the cause. You can click the link or go to donate.rescue-racing.com there. And all that money is going to go to local rescues and no-kill shelters. This is your chance to help out pets, because let's face it, we hear about it all the time. These shelters are all basically full of pets and that kind of thing. And especially where I live in Georgia, I mean, I go down the road, I see dogs just out there going for a walk like they're humans and things. And unfortunately, those dogs later get captured and put into these shelters and stuff, and they're overpopulated to this day. So this is your chance to help the situation and the cause tonight. So make sure you go and click on that link down below, or check out donate.rescue-racing to be one of the people to help the cause when it's all over with. So got 40 seconds left before they get into a qualifying session. So they're all going ahead and practicing getting incident points right now. But let's talk about the stories of the race here at Michigan. All right, we're in a truck. And one thing about the trucks on iRacing, Joey, is the draft. Okay, let's be honest. The draft on iRacing is pretty strong in the truck. And I think it's almost safe to say too strong. But you know what? We take advantage of what we got out here. Everybody's got the same product. That draft, though, is going to play a role tonight because it's wide open. Majority of the laps. You're going to get a little tight later in the run, but the draft is going to keep you in that pack for the most part. So how do you work the draft tonight to keep that track position?
Well, like you said, it's almost entirely flat out. It's not quite restrictor plate racing, but you are flat out for the vast majority of the lap until, as you said, later in the run, the tires will start to run out. You're going to start going wide if you try to go full throttle through the corners, as qualifying looks to be getting going here. But the most important thing in the race is making sure that you don't get stuck on the bottom, because unlike some tracks, the top here is very, very useful and helps you to get that momentum so you can make the pass around the outside, while the bottom, you're kind of going to stagnate in the middle of the corner.
Well, you mentioned the bottom. That is one of the tricks that we'll get to here in a second. Pit stops, though, is what we want to get here. 3 sets of tires, 62 laps, okay? You do the math, it's like 20 point something when it's all over with if you break it down into threes. You can go 40 on a tank really easy, if not a little bit over 40. So basically, tires shouldn't come into play unless the old yellow handkerchief comes out this evening. So how soon or late do you go get the fresh rubber?
That is a great question, and I think all of the 30-something drivers in the session are going to be asking themselves the same question, because even in these truck races, you really can't predict pit strategy. We've seen a lot of these drivers in the PRL Truck League here in GSRC, and the pit strategy is always unpredictable. And frequently, there's going to be there's someone who just comes out of nowhere, does a strategy that no one predicted, and somehow they win the race.
That's the fun part about this whole tire strategy. It comes into play. And as you see qualifying going on, is you ride with J.R. Smith there in the 33 truck. So number 3, don't get stuck on the bottom. You mentioned the bottom a few minutes ago. The bottom lane, which, you know, here on the tri-oval part here where you see JR running, that part's okay. It's when you get down here into the corners, that first groove is actually slightly lower banked than the rest of the turn. And that's why you see these trucks running about a groove up. And I think in this pack, you do not want to lose the top groove, because eventually you're going to lose momentum in track position, and you're going to get freight trained on the outside going off the corner if that happens.
Freight train is a nice word. When we were at Michigan in the C-Fix series, in the official series a couple weeks ago, I got stuck on the bottom one time, and I think I got passed by about 15 cars in 2 laps. So you do not want to be down there when you got a big train of motor vehicles on the high side.
Do not want that. Not to mention that will hurt your tire wear too. That right front tire will be screaming at you very shortly if you stay down that bottom lane. Last big story of the night, and I mentioned this already, 62 laps, 124 miles. That's a short race. You don't see a lot of league races being this short, but tonight, obviously a charity race, 62 laps. That's it. So track position is going to be key tonight.
Track position is always important, especially when some of the drivers are going to be on the same strategy, because passing, while you are in the draft for a lot of the lap, passing is a little bit tricky, a little more difficult than you might think it would be.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you want to complete the pass. You want to use the draft down the straightaways and complete the pass. If you do not do it by the time you're coming out of the corner, that's where you talk about the whole going back 15 spots could come into play this evening. And something else I want to bring up, we do have chat open. Looking at Austin Hunter, he just messaged out the great folks at Established Traffic Control is actually matching the entry fees raised by the drivers tonight. So shout out to Established Traffic Control. and for the helping out there, doing a good deed this evening. So going to be a lot of fun here. It's got about a minute or so before these guys grid up, and should be a lot of fun. So Joe, we've talked about all the keys that are going to make this race. So let's say you're up front. What do you have to do tonight to keep that truck in the clean air? Because one thing that has changed with this recent build is it seems like two words I don't like to use, and it almost seems like a cuss word when you look at it in broadcasting. Aero push comes into play.
Aero push is definitely not one of my favorite words, and finding clean air is always difficult. But we've got some skilled drivers up front, and I think they'll figure out the way to get through it.
And for those that are starting in the back, let's look down here at Schwartz, who's 17th right now. Cowgill, 18th. Some of these guys down there in that part, they're going to be mid to back of the field. Now, they got to find a way to get to the front really quickly. What could we see strategy-wise? I mean, do we see early tire stops if we get a quick caution? Do you see maybe doing the opposite of the leaders? What kind of strategy do you think we might see?
Well, any way to get ahead of the leaders and get track position. So like you said, maybe not pitting when the leaders do, maybe taking an early stop, anything like that to get you up front. But if we go on a really tire run for like 30, 40 laps, the tires are going to go off. So if you're on that old of a set of tires and you're restarting in front of the leaders on a late restart, you are going to get absolutely swallowed. So that's the risk that drivers are going to have to play with a strategy like that.
That is going to play a major role in tonight's race. So that's what we got. And we also got the starting lineup getting ready to shape up here in front of us as we get ready for this charity race starting on the pole tonight. Mark Halen and a lap time of 40.051 by 19/100ths of a second. William Hartman, a driver that's going to be really fast tonight in the old butt kicker 67. He's going to start there P2. J.R. Smith will start inside of row number 2 alongside Bradley Holly. Charles Sumner, row number 3 alongside Alan Hilton there in the 6th position. Doug Evans, Thomas Sink, and Robert Beastall Jr. and Jonathan Nance will start there to wrap up the top 10 there, Joey.
Row 6, we have Brenden Chatley, who has helped us to organize this event, next to Matt Ridgway in 13. The row behind that is Austin Hunter and Jose the Funky Cold Medina.
Oh, nice.
Brett Adams, Adam Zemke, Adam Shane, Adam Young. That's a lot of Adams there.
Holy
That's
Adam.
actually 2 full rows of Adams. Adam. Anyway, row 10, Nicholas Schwartz, Patrick Gaugill. Take us to the rest.
I don't think we have any Adams here in row number 11 as we take a look. Baron Hilton alongside Greg Corzin, Colton Lane, Brad, and Walter will there 24th. This is kind of a shocker to me. GT Hawkins, this guy I raced with in another league. He's usually pretty quick. So that could be one to watch here from the back. He'll start 25th alongside Daniel Knight. We're going to go with the whole Bermanisms. Dominique Rage against the Bajin will start 27th alongside Nicholas Hunter. John Labath will start next to Shelby Huff there in the 30th position. For some reason 30th's missing. It says 31st. But hey, we know how to count. And it looks like one other starter in the race potentially there in 31st is Adams. Another Adams. Brandon Adams, that is. So we'll start 31st on the grid. So there you go. Starting lineup as these trucks start to roll out here onto this grid. Shaping up to be a pretty fast one here tonight. A lot of fast trucks in here. I think you're going to see some comers and goers, as they like to say. And one thing I always like to look at, Joey, during these races is the forecast. Now, how slick is this track going to be? Well, let's start with this, okay? According to race time, it's 3:30 in the afternoon Michigan time in the middle of August. So track temp is 116 degrees right now, ambient at 79. So that's going to create some slickness out here.
Lots of slickness, lots of slipperiness. You're going to have to be very careful at the start here on those cold tires. Mark Kalin and William Hartman are up front. And something that I've seen a couple times is the leaders, when you got no cars for perspective in front of you, you can take the corner too hot and you can spin in front of the field. And that is a very, very embarrassing place to be.
Yeah, you got to be careful. And one of the secrets I've learned about these tires, actually, believe it or not, these are road course tires on these oval trucks. So if you ever wonder why you spin out really easy on these big tracks on like lap 1, well, what happens when you're on a road course and you're on cold tires coming out of the pits? Same scenario. So you got to get those tires heated up. So, all right, Joey. Well, it's fun to be with you tonight. Looking forward to 62 laps of action. And Sean, as we always like to say, let's go have some fun here this evening for 62 laps and raise some money for our pets as we are racing in Michigan, and already some tires spinning towards the back as Caleb and Hartley going to get up through the gears, and let's see if we get some pushing down into turn number 1. Let's see if Hartman can get that high line rolling down into turn 1, and looks like the 62 is going to roll the bottom there. He should be able to get the lead here off 2, but he's got to clear Hartman, which is going to be the tough spot here.
That top line is a little bit of momentum now, but luckily everyone seems to have survived lap 1. There's 3 cars up top, the 60, or not the 62, rather the 84, and the 2 car trying to push William Hartman to the lead.
Oh, Hartman gets turned! No, no, that's not good. The 184 is in it, the 41, the 8. Caution is coming out, but the 67 turned. I think that might be a little bump draft gone wrong, Daytona style. I see the 98 looks like Charles Sumner has some damage. He's got a little bit of damage to that orange, so a little, we'll look at the replay here. But I think it was just simply bump drafting gone wrong. Let's, as they like to say, roll that beautiful bean footage. The wreck already has happened there, but here we go, down into the corner here, the 184, he's got room there, 67 slides up, and 184 just gets back to the throttle. I don't know if the 67 had to get out of the gas, but just bad timing. You see some other trucks back there involved in this, so just a tough situation for William Hartman. Gets turned out of P2 in that situation.
It looked like Hartman just got a little bit of a wiggle, and then Bradley Holly behind misjudged his gap a little bit, and that led to a absolute kablamo. I think that is 8 total drivers who were involved, maybe only 7 because Brandon Adams started from the pits, but here comes a lot of drivers in to get some repairs. They do have 1 fast repair. Will they go for it this early, or will they just try those optionals out of the way to save that fast repair for a bigger accident later?
Well, we'll have to see here. I'm looking at the 98 truck right now, who is on pit road, the orange, the Tropicana orange truck. That unfortunately is a damaged peeling orange that is going to get fixed up there. And it looks like a lot of these guys are not going to take the reset, which is probably smart because I think you need to save the reset for about mid-race.
Yeah, like I said, save the reset for the pile up with the flipping trucks. Don't just use it for a fender bender on lap 1.
And we'll have to see how that all transpires here. But at least with the first caution, this gives me a chance to share a story. Old story time here. I know Bill Soupzon is one who likes to share stories, and this is kind of an interesting one. And some of the viewers tonight are some of friends of mine that I have brought along as they wanted to check out some truck racing tonight, like Baskin Robbins and DiMaggio and those guys. And I actually learned a story from some Midwestern drivers that I hang out with or whatever, and they were telling me about the prehistoric forest. Now, if you look on a map and take Highway 12, which this track is located off of, to the east a few miles, all of a sudden, there is this, you'll come up on this old forest that's closed down now that has a dinosaur and a waterfall. And you're like, wait, what is this? Well, back in the 60s, there was a prehistoric forest that was opened up at that time, and it was a theme park, and it used to be pretty popular. And of course, as time went on, it kind of faded down, and there were rumors that the people down in Sandusky, Ohio, there at Cedar Point, were going to buy that area and kind of rebuild it up. But of course, it didn't happen. In the 90s, it closed down. But if you ever get a chance to go to Michigan Speedway, check out the prehistoric forest. You'll get to see the dinosaurs and all over just east of the track. Now that I've put you guys to sleep, we'll go back racing here in this lap.
Well, probably when I want to see a bunch of prehistoric dinosaurs, I don't go to Michigan, I go to Florida.
I don't know how I should take that being a Floridian. But I understand what you mean by that.
Well, anyway, we Eric to go back racing.
Awkward.
I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't awkward at all. So Mark Kalin will continue to lead the field in the second truck in the pack because we got the good old safety truck up front. Do you think we're going to see the same thing again, or are drivers going to be extra cautious knowing that what just happened?
Well, I think you already got 58 laps to go here. So, I mean, with the length of these cautions, get the quickie yellows here out of the way, I think you're going to see the same type of racing here, and the tires are going to be heated up a little bit, so I don't know if you're going to see as loose of condition, but I think you're going to see the racing pick up here. You're going to see 2 and 3 wide here, but as you mentioned, Kalin and the South Carolina Gamecocks, number 33 of J.R. Smith, going to bring that high line to work here as we go back racing here at lap number 4, and the first of the Adams group running in the 4th position. That is Brett Adams. One truck we need to keep a look on there is Mr. Tone Loke, as you mentioned earlier. Funky Cole Medina there in the, or I think that's him, or is that the 312 there? That's got a lot of damage on the high side. I'm sorry, that is the 312 Boston Hunter. A lot of nose damage still on that truck.
Yeah, but it looks like he was in the epicenter of that accident on lap 1, but honestly, it looks like he's holding with the draft just fine, so clearly any nose damage isn't too bad just yet. He's probably glad he didn't pit. But up front, so we just lost someone on the bottom. I didn't see who that was.
Really easy to get loose. That green truck on the bottom, trying to see who that is. That Greg Corzin maybe in the 11th? Yep, that's Corzin. He's going backwards. And look at this 2-3 wide, and he's just literally, I don't know if he's got a parachute. We're going to look back at it here with the replay. What happens here? He goes down into turn number 3 here, and he's almost in the middle and just gets loose there, it looks like. I didn't see contact, but either way, he's able to hold on to it, but going to lose all that momentum there in that area. So tough break there for Corzin, but plenty of laps. And then up front, we got some fighting going on here as the draft goes to work. J.R. Smith going to go to the... Look at Adams up to second. Caleb working that inside there, Joey.
Oh, nope, he's not working the
trouble. J.R. Smith gets contacted.
He's working the outside now in the wall.
That is a glove save and a beauty.
There must be some good Adam luck here. You know how some people call Christmas Eve Christmas Adam? Well, this is New Year.
Replay up from above here from the old blimper. You see their single file down the front straightaway there, and you get the Adams with the run on the inside. And, you know, just racing action. I think you could say Smith came down a little bit, but is what it is here. We got one truck down on the apron here, the 68, or the 60, I'm sorry. Gets back on the track there, but they're 3 and 4 wide here mid-pack.
The 2 leaders up front made contact again out of turn 3. Luckily, they both managed to keep it going straight, but that has allowed Jose Medina to be right up the back of the leader. And we've lost the driver who wasn't Brett Adams, who's fallen back a little bit.
As we ride on board the bumper cam, we'll see how long this one lasts, apparently, because a lot of bumper tag going on up front here, but the semi-damaged truck, you can actually see the right front tire on Brett Adams' truck, and how that thing is handling and how he's able to hold the lead's pretty impressive as Medina goes to the outside, but the 99 of Walter there at his inside.
Mark Kalin, the other driver involved in that little bit of lead contact, is still in it. He's going to try and look for a hole 3 wide. He's not quite going to find it. He's going to go to the inside, and he's going to get blocked off just a little bit by Brandon Walter. He will be stuck in 4th for now. As we see Walter try to go for the bottom, almost makes contact with the back of Adams again. But we're all surviving at the moment.
You're not seeing what's going on behind Walter. Look at that mess going on. 4, how about 5 wide on the front straightaway? The orange truck there. Oh, and truck and wall Adams flying into the air.
Remember how I said there was going to be a truck flipping? Well, there it is. Brett Adams, I hope you like your fast repair, sir. And whoever went under that truck, those are a lot of fast repairs that will be given out right now.
And Sean Ambrose likes to say, looks like we're going to have some brisket cooking on pit road here in just a second for the Texas boy there. So get to the heights. Oh, just a late move there, unfortunately.
Again, just a little bit of quarter panel contact just turns the truck into the wall. There's been a lot of that contact in this race. I don't know what's causing that. Do you think the drivers might be taking it a little bit less seriously than your average league race, or
I don't know if
causing
it's
this?
that. I think it's more the situation of you're trying to protect the lead. You got that group going to your high side, and all of a sudden you got to make that reaction, and it's just too late. And when it's too late, you're obviously going to pay for it. Especially, well, one, he's damaged, so he's probably not up to full speed at that point. But then two, you're looking at a whole pack of trucks with the draft coming up there behind you. But I think the $1 million question here is we're at lap 12 already. So we got 50 laps to go. Are you using a set of tires right now?
That's a good question, because we are at lap 11, but we haven't run that many green flag laps, so I'm not entirely sure that it would be worth it to pit for tires. As I'm looking at Brett Adams getting a push to the pits at the moment, it appears his engine expired on the way there.
I mean, I've got so many Brian Adams jokes I could throw in here, but there's no Brian Adams in the race, so it doesn't work.
Well, I guess I am about 51 years in the past, because I'm thinking it's the summer of '69, and it's actually the December of 2020, unfortunately. But Brett Adams, not Brian, coming to the pits with no power. He's just riding in neutral, and he is going to be very, very happy to get a nice fast repair here.
I was just trying to think of a cut like a night reference somewhere in there, but yeah. Meanwhile, what people aren't hearing is our producer singing in our ears.
It's copyrighted. It's a good thing he's not.
Thankfully, it isn't over the air because YouTube would be all over us like it wouldn't be pretty.
But
so this is the
Brett,
second caution. Yeah, Brett. Tough break.
he's finally out of the pits, though. And is he a lap down? I think he is a lap down.
I am showing him a lap down, yes. Unfortunately, but this is a good chance to, especially for those at the back of the pack, I think you make a move here, go get tires if you haven't already. As a matter of fact, you're seeing it with Zemke, it looks like, J.R. Smith, a couple of these guys either topping off the old fuel cell or getting tires. I think you're still out of the window for fuel. Maybe one more caution can get you in the fuel window, but I still think tires are going to be the way to go around here. Is you're going to want 4 balonies, as certain people like to say.
Indeed, but I think we are, by the way this race has gone so far, I think we're essentially guaranteed to have another caution, so I think the drivers might be putting that into consideration when they're forming their strategies for the next 51 laps of this race. But Brandon Walter, the leader, and the other, I'd say about 10 cars in the lead pack have not pitted yet.
Yep. Yeah, the first truck that did pit was Bradley Hawley, who's running 5th right now in the 184 truck. He was involved in an accident, and he is in 5th right now. Daniel Knight pitted at lap number 2. He is 10th right now. And then from 13th on down, just pitted here, either in that first caution or the recent caution. But as you see posted over in our chat right now, guys, if you would like to donate and help out this great charity race and the event, you can help out pets at, or in homeless shelters and things like that. Check out donate.rescue-racing.com and be a part of that today.
Indeed, a great cause. We always love doing these charity events because we are just racing stupid cars in stupid circles, but it's always good to use that to do important things like this.
Does that make the drivers stupid?
I mean, that's pretty obvious.
Just a thought. So as you mentioned, Walter, Kalen, Medina, Young, and Holly going to be the top 5. They're obviously up front there, and they have not pitted other than Holly. And then you got Schoen, Bijin, who started back in 27th. He is 7th. LaBaff started 28th. He's 21st. And then Austin Hunter, Daniel Knight going to be your top 10 here. We'll see if we can get a good green flag run started here. And that's one thing, too, in Michigan that, well, let's face it, can really come into play is fuel mileage. You could put any car on this track. You could put electric cars on this track, and it'll be a fuel mileage race somehow.
Well, if you think about it in a roundabout way, these are virtual cars, so they're technically electric cars. And this field of cars is going back green right now.
Here we go. Walter on the inside. Kalen up high there in that 62 truck. A little bit of stacking going on as they go back to green. Looks like everybody evades everybody. A little 3 wide back there in the back. Walter already clears. Kalen's going to cross him over down here to turn 1 as they get up there into the gears. Front 2 going to already pull away by a couple truck lengths as the 21 clears the 24 up into third. So you could kind of see already who's saving tires and who's not.
Indeed, but Adam Young in third place is catching back up, so the little bit of a gap those front 2 pulled is not a gap for much longer, as Young and the 65 of Adam Shane, they are coming right up in the draft. Mark Kalen's for a way by on the top. I'm not sure if that's going to work, but we'll see what happens.
62 with a power move outside there. 99 kind of threw a defensive move, and the 62 just kind of threw a juke, as we'll call it, to the outside. Going to bring the 21 with him. He's got the preferred groove off this high side. And I started to mention this a little bit ago with this tire rubber. It's a road course tire on these trucks, and believe it or not, it does not like fresh pavement. It likes the rubber. So you want to be in that black that you see on the track to get the most out of these tires. You get up there in the high side, or even in that bottom lane, you will not see max grip as we're 4 wide off turn 4 here, and 1 truck in the wall, the 13, I think that is. And now they're wrecking the 14s around. That's GT Hawkins. And caution out for the 3rd time. It's going to start right here. You're going to see it turn 4. You're going to see the 13 up on the high side. And I think his spotter didn't tell him, hey, car high. And they come together here.
Fortunate for
okay, maybe it wasn't that 13. It was a pink car, a pink truck, I should say, up ahead. Sorry, Sean, I gave you the wrong 13, I think. We'll just go +1. GT Hawkins view. All right, there's that pink truck. See, comes up the track. I can't see the number. I thought it was a 13, but that the 43 is who that was. And unfortunately, he squeezes the orange juice truck in the wall and gets turned. And on board with Brandon Adams. And he gets turned.
It's just very unfortunate, but like I said, he did squeeze the vitamin or the orange juice truck into the wall. I guess he didn't vitamin C him.
Judges. I'll give him an A for effort, but that move was not appealing. So caution 3 is out.
Appealing is tires right now.
Yes, very appealing. And fuel mileage. Here, we are in that point right now. You're pitting, and you're going the rest of the way on fuel.
Absolutely. We'll see. Here comes Mark Kalen. No, Mark Kalen doesn't come in, but Adam does, and a smattering of other trucks are choosing to take those tires. But Mark Kalen, Brandon Walter, they think it's too early.
I sure hope your clutch button is working, because you're going to need to save from here, because if we get a... This is the type of setup right here to where the race goes green the rest of the way. And if you're the leaders, this is the scenario you do not want. You're going to want another yellow, but for these guys who are all coming to pit road here, this is the scenario where if we go green the rest of the way, they are in the catbird seat, as they like to say.
They are indeed, but every time we've said we hope there wasn't another caution, there was another caution. So Mark Kalen, Brandon Walter, I don't think they'll be too worried. But then again, this is iRacing, and when you want a caution, you don't get a caution.
Right, and also at the same time, I mean, eventually they're not going to have cautions anymore. Let's look at the honesty here. So we'll see. I mean, but that's what Michigan does. You get these early cautions, and then all of a sudden you get the admin that comes on the radio and says, all right, guys, let's settle down here. 3 cautions in 18 laps. We're better than this, yada, yada, yada. Humana, and all of a sudden we go green.
I haven't quite heard the telling off from race control yet, but I assume that'll be momentarily.
We'll send Ambrose down there. He'll straighten them up.
Absolutely.
Appreciate all the viewers watching us this evening, including the ones that are already asking me to be thrown out of the booth 6 minutes into a race. Haven't been on GSRC in, what, 3 years, and I've already been told to get thrown out of the booth. That's not nice. I guess you got to start somewhere. All right, so already a third distance here into this race, and you're seeing them double up because, of course, iRacing has the quickie yellows they came out with. I believe it was the last build where they shortened up the 2 mile tracks and bigger. The cautions are shortened up by a lap, so you only get like 3 laps of caution. Which, for those who, you know, the 25,000 people on iRacing are like, oh, we're going to Pocono next week. Great, cautions stink there. You don't have to worry about it anymore.
Unfortunately, when you're a lap truck, if you get into an accident early on, that's less time to get all of your optional repairs, which you frequently need. But I think overall, it's better than worse.
Which at that point, I mean, if you really want to take the chance, you just go down to closed pits when the leaders pit and try to get as much fixed in that much time. But yeah, that's a valid point. To every pro, there's a con, as they say, George. So. All right, so Kalen Walter LaBaff up to third after starting 29th. Adam Shane, Brenden Chatley going to be your top 5. You see that 911 Rescue Racing truck. He wins tonight. We might have a different kind of siren going off. But here comes the 62 of Kalen. Going to bring him back to the green flag here. After the third caution, he is on the old owl pedal, as they say, and we go back racing. Kalen with the good jump. Walter, they're going to move down to the bottom. That's going to allow that inside line to get the draft here. But again, you want to try to get to that outside as quick as possible because they are going to get the momentum here, but kind of a spread out restart.
Yeah, it's not necessarily what you want when you're the leader. You don't want to be giving people a powerful draft from a couple truck lengths back. But right now, just like we saw last restart, Kalen and Walter are starting to pull away, but here comes the rest of the pack.
And the first battle until the 65 drops down to the bottom. Adam Shane going to go inside here, down on that bottom groove. And look how much momentum he loses. 17 stuck in the middle with you, up the middle. Matter of fact, he's riding shotgun up the middle.
Stuck in the middle.
And caution is out. We got trouble. Adam Young involved in the 21 truck. And that is, see the 184 going through the bottom. Bradley Holly. I think you were starting to sing the song.
No, I was just thinking of a Steelers wheel joke to make, but unfortunately the 17th caution of the race took that opportunity from me. And as we look at the replay, yep, just something we've seen before. Adam Young gets kablamoed, turned into the wall. He'll be going for his fast repair, assuming he hasn't taken it yet. I don't think he has, but that's what happens when you got
the
this
Texas
car
driver.
together.
Oh, we got a Adam might be in a crab type of mood right now. Look at that Sidewinder. That there will not pass inspection in NASCAR anymore.
That is a beautiful specimen of a motor vehicle. It's crabbing so much we can make chowder out of it.
Oh, look at that. Wheels at 1 o'clock. Hey, you got to be careful with the food references around Sean. I don't know if he's ever warned you about that.
I don't even like crab. I don't even know why I mentioned that. But the crab is walking into the pits. Hopefully they can speed that thing out so it will pass inspection at the end of this race. You know, if we had Sean inspection, he would not be lenient with that kind of thing.
Well, as people who know me well know this joke pretty good, I like to say, you actually go on YouTube, you can actually find videos of how to fix dents in a vehicle. You get hot water, you pour it on the vehicle, and you get the plunger, and you pop the fenders out, get a reset. There you go.
I was thinking if you wanted to straighten that truck out, you just get like one of those U-Haul trucks, and you tie the truck to the U-Haul truck, and you tie it to a tree, and you just pull, and that'll straighten it right out.
Something tells me that's kind of related to pulling a tooth.
It could be. Dentists are, as you know, big fans of race cars, so maybe
they're big fans of our wallets too.
You got a dented truck, you got a dentist, you pull a tooth, then you go pull your truck. Easy.
I mean, I remember a video once on YouTube where somebody tried to pull an engine out of their vehicle by use of a tree. Probably not the safest way to pull an engine out.
I would agree, and I think the YouTube moderators would agree with that too. That might get taken down for unsafe content, unfortunately.
Brenden Chatley, etc. apparently is real popular on his helmet. And his truck is missing. Oh, that makes sense. Establish traffic control. Thank you, Sean. 2 + 2 is 22. But the one thing iRacing still yet to do, and maybe they should do in the next build, you should put a hose in the helmet. Do you not see the hose missing? I'm sorry. See, and either way, we get hosed when it's all over with. So, all right, and we can back racing. You guys have opened up the bad jokes on me now. Congratulations.
Wanted to get you pulled out of the booth before. I think we're both going to get pulled out of the booth before the end of this. You have lined up, Sean.
I'm pretty sure. I just need to know when Joe Peak is going to be on the phone with Ambrose. Be like, dude, get him off. Anyways, make sure you check out donate.rescue-racing.com. How about this? Donate $5 every time I say a bad joke. So we should be up to like $2,000 already.
An update on one of the drivers. Nicholas Schwartz, unfortunately, is the only driver out of the race so far. I think he might have been involved in one too many accidents, used up his fast repair tour. Unfortunately, we've lost the 31st driver in the race.
So I didn't even get to say Fear the Schwartz tonight. That's too much. Anyways, that's too much. Mark Catlin going to come back to the green flag. Daniel Knight going to be up there in that high side. He made that aggressive move up the middle and got himself up there to the 2nd position. And yeah, let's see if he can work his way up there. We got a Brandon and a Brenden in the 3rd and 4th position as the green flag comes back out. And well, Brenden and Brandon got caught sleeping as Caitlin and Knight pull away here and get a real good restart. And as mentioned, you got to be careful on these restarts. You get out there too far, and that draft will come into play as we go down to turn 1. Lap number 24 in the books here. So as I mentioned, fuel mileage should be out of the window now. It's a matter of when to use the tires and whatnot too. As the 17 gets to run down the front straightaway. And that's going to move Daniel Knight. He should be able to clear him. He's got the draft, but he's not able to. And here comes that Jim's Body Shop Ford F-150 to the outside.
He's almost clear, but Kalen does have the momentum on top. If you look at the differences in positions, Kalen has gone from 1st to 1st, and Daniel Knight has gone from 26th to 1st. Because he's
that just shows you. Yep, it goes back to what we talked about there, Joey. You mentioned the whole strategy to get to the front, and that just shows you the difference. Kalen started up front, he stayed up front, but Daniel Knight, Brandon Walter, those guys have all come from the back up to the front.
Daniel Knight has actually been making a lot of passes, I think, on track. It has been a hard day's night, but he has been working like a dog, and look at him up front to the lead. He takes the top away, and he's the leader now.
To my friend J2 who's watching on stream, note that that did not come out of my mouth. So, anyways, 3 wide here, almost into turn 1. You see the 31 truck coming into the picture here. Patrick Cowgill, that black and yellow truck there. Patrick doing a pretty good job. Unfortunately, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time right now. He's stuck in the inside there. You see the 60 has gone by him of Colton Lane and Nicholas Hunter on that outside here. And you see 2 by 2 by 2 as they work their way up here.
Looking a bit more peaceful than it was earlier in the race. But as I say that, we're going 3 wide again. Colton Lane on the bottom, getting squeezed there. And we're almost 3 wide for the lead as Mark Halen takes the bottom back. He's going to go back to the lead.
This track is plenty wide for 3 wide. There's no issue with going 3 wide. It's just a matter of being able to hold your lane and just know where the other trucks are. It's about being situational awareness. I think a lot of the cautions you've seen so far tonight are from situation awareness. You know, you got one truck moves up the track and there's somebody on your quarter. Just little things like that.
And I see a little speck in the distance. There's a lapped truck coming up.
That's William Hartman in the 67.
I think he'll be nice and get out of the way, but you can definitely get spooked if these leaders choose to go 3 wide as they're lapping Hartman. That could into some trouble, so we'll see how that turns out.
Well, I know Hartman pretty well, and he's a really good driver. I've raced with him for years, and he is, I mentioned situational awareness. He is one that knows situational awareness, so knowing him, he'll probably stay out of the way here as this pack comes barreling down here into turn number 3. Now, I did see a few minutes ago, 17th place Bradley Hawley in the 184 truck ran the fastest lap of the race. So that just shows you how powerful this draft is.
And he's getting like the most powerful draft.
Oh, look at the 60 up the middle. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but Colton Lane picked the lane, and he's going from 5th to 1st in one corner.
I was saying Bradley Hawley had a powerful draft. Colton Lane clearly had a far more powerful.
I mean, I don't know if Sean can get a replay of that move real quick, but the C's part, and he just shoots the middle and literally blows everybody's doors off. Watch this on replay here. Literally, you see third car high line, and you see 2 trucks at the bottom, 2 to the middle. I'm just going to go here. And just shoots right by everybody. That there is called a power move in racing.
If this was a movie, we would have seen the shot of him just hitting the gas harder than everybody else, because that's how you make a pass, obviously.
Well, no, you got to shift down into third gear, too. Think about that. Every time you see a racing movie, usually when they go to put it down, put the pedal down, and they shift up to third gear real quick. Don't ask why.
Colton's actually pulled a little bit of a gap to second place J.R. Smith, and they're both a little bit ahead of Daniel Knight, so I wonder. Daniel Knight is actually on 10-lap older tires, so that would explain the little bit of a discrepancy in the speed there. But we'll see if these top 2 can start to pull away, or if drivers who did pit at the same time as Colton Lane, we got Sumner, Sink, Chatley there on the newer tires. We'll see if they can make the passes.
Now, there is one thing we got to look at here that could come into play, and looking at my telemetry here, and I'm not sure if you're seeing the same thing. Ooh, the orange truck there, the 98. Sumner going up the track just a little bit, but 2 trucks have not pitted in this race, and that is Brandon Walter and Mark Kalin. They have not pitted at all in this race. They're 3 wide into 3. The 48 there, that Muscle Farm, spelled with a PH. Chevrolet pushing the 59 out there as they're 3. Now they're 4. Now this is Michigan racing, boys.
It absolutely is. How much longer can they keep this going? We saw a little bit of a squeeze to the top from whoever that was.
Now we're 4 wide off 2. Little net code contact.
No, I don't think that was netcode. I think that was just beating and banging. But here comes the 11 through the middle. Is there enough of a gap there? Yes, because he doesn't actually have enough speed to keep up with the car on top who was making it 3 wide. And as I say that, here he comes in the bottom. And here comes Bradley Hawley as well into the picture.
Yeah, Bradley Hawley up into the 12th position as right now. That 2 truck, Malin Hilton down there stuck on the bottom. And this is where that top line starts to really come in. These tires are starting to get heated up for this run. This is where that momentum of the high line comes into play here. So if you're somebody like the 184 truck there, as you mentioned, of Hawley, Knight, those guys there that are running that middle groove, if you get into a fight, you want to try to stay high on that high side. Now, William Hartman, we mentioned a second ago they were coming up on him. He's holding his own up there.
He's flipped a switch or something.
Yellow. He just needs a yellow, basically, in his situation here. But lap 33 in the books here, as we're just past the halfway mark in this charity race. Again, we please ask to donate to the great cause. Look right down below. There's a link there for you, or you can check out donate.rescue-racing.com and donate to help out the great charity, because let's face it, a good portion of us have. Yeah, right there on the screen. Ta-da! Flat line, almost, if you will.
You're talking about William Hartman needing a yellow as he's a lap down. When you're a lap down in these races, you can get the lucky dog. And you know who could be a lucky dog? Lots of pets around the country, and that's what all these great charities are trying to help us with.
I want to know a name. I want to know a dog named Brutus. He was a dog in one of the leagues that Sean and I broadcasted years ago. Just saying. Sean laughs, so I know he knows what I'm talking about. Sean, it just clicked in Sean's head who Brutus is. He's going nuts in our ears right now. You can't hear him on the stream, but Brutus, for those who don't know, there was a league that Sean and I broadcasted for, ironically with similar initials to, you know, the league you mentioned a little bit ago, PRL, let's call it. And they had a Lucky Dog Award, and the guy Brutus would pop up on the screen. He was an actual dog. As Brenden Chatley going to go to the front. I think he wants his turn up there. J.R. Smith there in that 33 South Carolina truck, looking for South Carolina's best result I think they've had all season, including football.
Colton Lane looked to be in control. He had a little bit of a gap, but not for long. Here comes the 48 of Thomas Sink on the bottom, and Brenden Chatley. Is he going to clear him? Not quite, but I think he will be able to lead this lap.
And yeah, he will at the line there. Uh-oh. Thomas Sink there might need a little blinker fluid in that 48 truck. Might need some tin foil for the top of the truck. Thing blinking out a little bit there, but the 98.9 coming into the picture, Brandon Walter. And hey, look back here in 6th place. Remember the truck that was that the truck that was in the wall, or was that the 43? 43. I'm sorry, wrong truck. But Doug Evans doing a good job there in that number 41.
I'm sure he's been at the wall at some point. Everyone has, but it's been a recovery race for everyone, and Doug Evans clearly doing a very good job hanging out in 6th place. He's got the truck behind him, Bradley Holly, in the draft, trying to catch back up to that pack of 6, pack of 5 up ahead.
He sees the day. 911 on the chat talking about he has a dog named Stinky. As caution is out 5th time. Zimke in the 57 is going around over here, and it looks like turn 1. We'll have to see what happened. See him up there in the high side. That I guess that would be turquoise, number 57 there on the outside of the 65. And once again, he gets a little help. And GT Hawkins once again in that one. And we right on board with the butt kicker truck. And you see the contact, just not poor judgment, I shouldn't use that term, but more just a bad situation, basically. You're trying to make a call to get up there in the pack, and you just unfortunately misjudge it. That's the better word, I guess, to call it there, a misjudgment in that situation.
And unfortunately, Alan Hilton was involved in that too. He's still rolling, but he did absolutely kablobber the wall. You can see a lot of damage on the rear of that truck. Ironically, it's another butt kicker sponsored truck that looks like it's got its butt kicked.
Yeah, unfortunately, the butt kicker, and that's all one team, by the way, I should mention. Hilton, Hartman, and GT Hawkins all race for the same team, hence the same sponsorships and stuff like that. But yeah, they're not having a good night, but we'll just say one man's, trash another man's treasure. William Hartman is going to get the lucky dog, speaking of Brutus, and get back on the lead lap.
We're going to see him go around here
and as we got pit stops, by the way, the leaders all coming in now. I will reference real quickly. If you go back into, and I don't know if Joe Peak and those guys still have the videos up, but you can go back to like 2000, I think it was 16 or 17, and find 3,000 videos in archive, I'm told. So you can go back and find, and I'll go ahead and say it, the Premier Racing League was the name of the league. And you can go find these races, and you can go see who Brutus was. Really cool deal. But 5th caution is out, and one truck, Hilton, kind of overshot his pit stall a little bit. And race off pit road. 48 going to get it.
Thomas Sink, he had a little bit of a link before, but here he comes to the lead.
Using that muscle power to get their muscle farm, I should say, to get to the front there of this race. So we have 23 laps to go. I'm pretty sure this is going to be the final pit stops of the race if you're the leaders, because you know you're starting to look at track position coming into play here. Now we did have 2 trucks stay out, John LeBaff and Baron Hilton. In the 47, they have stayed out on track. Now, John pitted at lap 21, so that's about 18 laps ago. and Baron Hilton pitted at lap 17. So they're looking at 15 to 20 lap older tires. Now, I think their bet is kind of made here. You're not coming to pit road right now, are you?
Well, that answer will be questioned, or that question will be answered in approximately 3 seconds.
Yeah, they're staying out.
Nope, they're staying out.
I was going to say, their bet's kind of made right now, because if they pit here, they're all the way back at 30th. And you're kind of taking yourself out of the race by doing that. So I think they're taking a chance here, get some track position. And I think their best bet right now is maybe get about a 10-lap run, get down to about 10 to 15 to go, and hopefully pull the leaders back to pit road for tires. Either that or they're out of tires almost already. One of the two.
Or they'll just have to hope that we continually have cautions for the next 21 laps, and they'll never have to pit from the front. They'll just...
Which is entirely possible.
Get a good launch, get a good gap, have the caution come out, and that's how you win the race.
I will speak for the Optimistics Club to say that's not going to happen. But, you know, I just thought of something, and as you were having fun with the old flashbacks, you know, Joey, you're getting to hear a lot of stuff that, you know, when Sean and I were on the air together with all the leagues we did and stuff, you know, we had our fun and we had our quotes and things we like to say, and you're getting introduced to them. But I couldn't help but notice just now that we're coming up to 21 laps to go. And at this point of the broadcast, we would get to 20 to go. And Sean would say at this point, well, boys, 20 laps to go. It's time to boogie.
See, the problem is, when you guys were on the air in 2016, I wasn't even born.
Let me think about this. I mean, I didn't know Boss Baby is here. I mean,
well, while you're mulling that over, maybe you're John baffled, because John LaBaff has gone to the lead. He's got a big old jump. He's got a big gap back to Thomas Sink, who got a pretty decent start from third, and he's already up into second.
Yeah, I think Sink is going to get to this 911 truck really quickly here. Let's see how quick these tires come to work. Now, it might not happen until about turn 3, but yeah, you know, I'm wrong. Then you get to turn 2, he's already to the inside. And you see the 60 truck, Holton Lane already up there to the second position. Here comes Chatley and those guys here. The fresh tire is going to come into play really quickly.
Here comes Lane all over the back of Thomas Sink. Is he going to go to the bottom? Is he going to go to the top? Or is he just going to stay and push him a little bit? He's just going to stay and push him a little bit. Probably a smart decision.
I mean, you still got plenty of time to be patient. As you see a couple trucks kind of sliding up the track there mid-pack. But still, 20 laps at Michigan is 40 miles. That's still plenty of laps to make your moves. You can still work your way from 30th to first. Tough, but you can still do it.
You can absolutely do it. I mean, if you look at the top 10 in the race, these drivers started 23rd, 29th, 24th, 21st, 26th. This has been, the field has just been shuffled randomly.
Comes and goes. Hey, we're 4 wide in the back, by the way. Back here at about 18th position, I would say. We got a hot mess here. Oh, one truck got out of shape in the middle. The 65 got out of shape. The 13 there, I believe that is. Wow, and then one truck's down on the apron, literally like the middle of the apron. I didn't see who that was. Up towards the front. We got trucks everywhere. Up to the front, Sink. And the 59 is all by himself down there. Well, he was. The 184 is going to come there with him. Here comes Lane. They're going to go to second. Going to bring J.R. Smith with him.
Bradley Holly on the bottom. He was on the apron.
That's a bad angle, though. He probably had to work the throttle there. That's a bad angle going into turn 1. He's going to lose a lot of momentum there. Look at that high line just to matriculate, as legendary coach Hank Stram would say. You matriculate down the field.
Just matriculating about that in my mind. But right now, someone else who is very happy with the way these guys are racing up front 3 and 4 wide, Charles Sumner, closing back up, joining the fun up here. Colton Lane tries to go to the bottom again up front. That's not going to work, and Sumner's now getting swarmed. Remember Mark Kalin? He was up front a while ago, coming in here too.
Yeah, he's finally got those tires. He finally pitted at lap 39, used that first set of tires, and he's putting them to work, pretty much splitting this race almost in half. Here comes J.R. Smith, the South Carolina truck. Going to take the lead, a little bit of a slider, going to slide up there in front of the 48 and move that 33 to the front.
That was a great exit. He had multiple car lengths over.
Oh, trouble! 99 out of shape. He got into Sumner and he saves it. What a save by Walter.
It's going to be a heck of a replay to watch. Let's see here. Is it in this lead? Yes, it is. It's in the lead pack. One of them has to go below the apron and lucky not to get collected by the pack somehow.
Yeah, the 98 of Sumner got hit to a pulp. But is able to save it. And that breaks the truck away here by about 5 or 6 or so trucks now in this lead pack.
Yeah, he's falling back. I wonder if he has a little bit of side damage that's slowing him down. He's lost a little bit of the zest that's making that truck go fast.
Oh, he's lost he might have lost toe and everything. Oh, a couple trucks hitting the wall back there. The 11 and 17 got the wall on the outside, scatters everybody. And here comes the 3 of Robert Beasall Jr. running the G.I. Joe. Makes me reminded to say that knowing is half the battle. Up to the front here. We got double file, 59 to the inside of Chatley there on the inside, I should say, of the 48. You guys are enjoying the racing. Hopefully, hopefully you can donate and help these guys out. Again, make sure you do so. Donate.rescue-racing.com. So much money already being raised. And trouble on the back straightaway. I saw it towards the back. I think Adam Shane is one of the trucks. Caution is out.
I did not see who that was. We'll see what happened in the replay.
Being told Adam. Shane is 65. I think it was Shane. I just saw a truck get turned back there in the back of the camera. You see right there, it's already kind of going on back straight. 2 or 3 trucks there on the inside lane. Nicholas Hunter looks like might be one of them. So let's go to Nicholas Hunter. That might help out a little bit there, Sean. Might be able to get her a better view there. There we go. That's already going on. Hunter's already kicked that thing in reverse. He's like, hey, well, watch this. It's either 3 wide. Couple trucks on the bottom. Oh, getting tight there. I think Hunter tried to follow that truck through the middle there and didn't realize. I'm trying to see who that red and white truck is. Is that the 43 or the 23? Adams was there, and here come the leaders to pit road. Remember that strategy just a little bit ago? I talked about if you get a few laps, those guys who stayed out might be able to steal some track position away. Well, here comes everybody to pit road, I believe, or at least the majority of the field. I think. See, the 65 is in. Looks like probably, I'm guessing, 4 tires and fuels for everybody. Kalin back on pit road. Also, J.R. Smith. All these guys.
One driver stayed out, and it was Jose Medina.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if he intended to stay
out. Racing off pit road did. I wonder, did that Chatley get him? I think barely.
Off pit road, it looks like it was Chatley, Smith, Sink, Lane, and Dominic Begine are our top 6 now. And Jose Medina, he's going to be stuck up there again.
That Joyful Rescues yellow and white number truck, or white number 24 truck, Is that Speedy Gonzalez on the side, on the back bumper of his truck? It sure is. If we can get a shot of that, we have Speedy Gonzalez making an appearance on a stream. Arriba, arriba, andale, andale.
Arriba, arriba.
We got the Roadrunner on the left door. So the question is, which driver behind him is going to play the Coyote?
All of them, probably. The entire pack is probably going to swallow Jose Medina, unfortunately. He does have 12-lap old tires, so it's not like they're 50 laps old, so he might not be screwed, but he's probably going to get swallowed up very soon.
But here's the twist of the whole thing. The Coyote never catches the Roadrunner.
Exactly, it might just happen. Back to a reference we had earlier, the funky cold Medina. Those tires aren't going to be cold. It's going to be the funky hot Medina. Very, very hot tires.
Well, I've got no choice but to bring this up now. As you know, with these trucks at old tires, catching them's one thing, passing them's another. And as Soup would say, it's like milking a goat. Or a rooster. Or whatever he used to. I got the quote wrong. I'm sorry. It's been too long. Milking a rooster.
I think you're milking this joke.
I'm
Those of you who
definitely
weren't pre-race. I've heard this joke many times, and I understand it just as much as I did on the
So
first time.
please tell me you're watching us right now. Please help me out. Bail me out, my friend. A rooster, a goat. Either way, it was a bad joke.
Believe it or not, there is actually a race going on. I'm not sure if the people watching that. Jose Medina is leading the race, and he is leading.
He's gone.
Green
He's
flag.
gone.
Goodbye,
He's
Jose.
gone. The whole field got caught sleeping here. We got people hitting each other, people three wide passing to the inside. That's going to cause some black flags potentially. And just like that, the 33 is going to say bye.
Yep, bye-bye, Jose Medina's lead.
Or did he say, no way, Jose?
He might have said that. If we were on a road course, those old tires might have tone locked up, but because we're on an open, kind of went up a little bit.
Oh, boy. Have our numbers gone down, by the way, in the last 30 minutes? I'm just checking. Oh! We got trouble, and Medina's coming to pit road. The 65 in it, Shane, 9-11. Oh, this is a big one.
Medina's going to be
And
thanking his lucky stars. The caution came out right when he came to the pits.
Did Medina get black flagged? No, I don't see any kind of black flag issued. But either way, caution out for the 7th time. We're gonna go on board with Adam Young here. Texas driver, and misses. I don't know if he gets clipped. And he goes for the spin. Almost does a 360. For the most part, he comes out unscathed. A little bit of right side, right front damage maybe there on that 12.
Maybe a little bit, but it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Looks okay from the outside. Oh, I'm looking at the front end of that 17 truck, and that is
A little beaten up.
very crunkled.
Is that with a K?
Probably.
Just checking.
J.R. Smith, our leader, is appearing to take the Michigan Roval on the apron there. He's having a little bit of fun under caution. I would be doing the same thing. We've run, what, how many miles under caution?
I don't have that count, but either way, we are having fun tonight. The racing's been fantastic when we've been under green, and hopefully the viewers have enjoyed tonight. And I'll mention it one more again, donate.rescue-racing.com. Make sure you check that out. And make sure you donate tonight to help these guys out, all the people that have helped put this together. You mentioned Brenden Chatley, who's really put a lot of effort into this. But again, proceeds are helping out local rescues and no-kill shelters and so much more. So, again, this is all part of the Adopt an Underdog 124 going on here at Michigan Speedway. But again, donate.rescue-racing.com to donate to this race. So, Adam Shane taking this car behind the wall. Looks like, 27 trucks still on track? 20 on the lead lap?
Looks like we'll go green with 6 or 5 to go. So, do you want to adopt an underdog in the top 10 here? Who do you think will steal the race win by the end of it?
You're going to throw me under the bus, I see here. Usually I did this to Sean. Let's see. Underdog-wise, you know what? I'm going to take him only because I kind of know him decently. I don't know a lot of these drivers. They've all done a good job tonight. But I'm going to go Alan Hilton. Because Alan actually is one of the butt kicker trucks that has had all types of issues tonight. And here he is in the top 7.
Believe it or not, Alan Hilton was my choice too. I remember seeing that butt kicker logo kicked in. And that truck looks good now. He's started 6th, 7th now. If
you really want a sleeper, though, look at 12th. His teammate, William Hartman, the one that held on earlier and kept on the lead lap. He's got a lot of damage. But that guy right there, I've raced with this man for years. He will make a damaged truck somehow finish top 5.
I mean, it's only 7 more positions he'll need to finish top 5. Definitely possible. The back of his truck doesn't look too bad. But J.R. Smith has been no easy feat to overtake him. Brenden Chatley's been up front all day too. Colton Lane's made up a lot of positions. This is going to be a titanic battle to the end here.
Are you trying to hint that you're taking Sync to win this race?
Let me sink my teeth into that one. No.
Well, you mentioned Titanic. Never mind. So, Colton Lane, Bradley Holly, Brandon Walter. I'm working on my resume right now as we talk, by the way.
I should have said, let that sink in. That would have been better.
So we'll go green. Actually, going to be 5 laps to go, and we get the green. I don't remember seeing anything about green-white checkers in the rules, I don't think. Because years ago, Sean and I would say at this point, we're at the point of no return. That don't exist anymore. So you got, as you mentioned, J.R. Smith, Brenden Chatley, Colton Lane, Bradley Holly, and Brandon Walter. The Killer Bees up there 2nd, 4th, and 5th. We'll see if one of those go to victory lane, or will Beesall jump up there. He's in the 6th position there as we go back to green. The pace truck pulls off, and J.R. Smith is on the pedal. And a good jump, maybe too good of a jump there. Let's see if anybody tandems up here into turn 1 and gets that run. And if so, it's going to be the back straightaway where they're going to get that run. At 59 and 184, real tight here. They should get a really good run down this back straightaway here.
Yeah, more Chatley than Lane, because Chatley has Bradley Holly pushing. Is he gonna...
There's the block. There's the crossover. And Chatley going to try to get to the front. Getting close, a little side draft. Going to bring more of these trucks back into it here. Here we go. 4 to go this time by.
Smith is back up front, though. We had Bradley Holly pushing him this time on the high side, and he's pulling away a little bit again. But it's going to be the same thing we saw in the last lap.
I saw a little contact mid-pack, and everything's good.
That actually allowed Smith to hold his lead. He didn't have Bradley Holly in the draft going for the move there. Couldn't quite catch him. Smith looks like he's got a couple, maybe half a
I thought Hilton was going to go bottom. I thought Hilton was going to elevator move it. The 99 was there at Walter, and it kind of stopped his move from being held as Smith is well, making his truck about as wide as this track can be pretty much right now. You mentioned Holly up there on the high side, able to get the run down the straightaway. Let's see if he helps out the 33 here. Oh, almost some contact as Hilton gets sent to the apron almost. Oh, the 60 on the back bumper. The 59 had to get out of it. And here comes Hilton.
Hilton stuck on the bottom 3 wide. It looks like he'll be able to clear the 3. And he's got the 312 of Austin Hunter coming by to help.
2 laps to go, and you mentioned Hunter coming up the middle there. And that 312, oh, they're getting close. A little door banging going on and all.
It was more than close.
And I hear somebody spinning. I heard skid marks, I thought. I could be wrong. Nope, I'm wrong. Nobody's spinning. I thought I heard skids.
Robert Besaw ended up in the wall, but he's still going straight. Here comes Holly to the inside.
Looks like Patrick Calgill's got an issue or something. The 31 is off the pace, I'm noticing. He's got heavy damage on that truck, but we'll keep going here as we come to the white flag. As Holly has gone to the lead off of 4, he's got no help on the bottom. And now they're wrecking as they come to the line. I believe this is the finish. Holly's going to win this. Did they run out of time, I think? Holly, that was the final lap. Well, I missed the final lap apparently, but Holly has won this thing and everybody's wrecking.
How about that?
So here's the replay of the finish. J.R. Smith gets down there, they make contact, and yeah, Holly gets it by about 2/100ths of a second. What a finish.
Indeed. I don't know how many times you see a car spinning and flipping after victory, but Bradley...
Well, I mean, of course you got the 92 All-Star race with Davey Allison, but, you know.
This is just a glorious replay as we watch him kabam!
Oh, and he gets clobbered again.
The safety advances, truly remarkable in these vehicles.
Wow. So we're going to step away here. We're going to regroup, and we'll come back. We'll, if we get a chance, we'll talk to some drivers. If not, we'll just talk about the race. We'll recap it and so much more. But you're watching the Global SimRacing Channel. Welcome back to Michigan Speedway as we wrap up a fun night of charity racing with Bradley Hawley with a last lap pass on J.R. Smith taking the win. As we show the final results, you see 16 one-thousandths of a second. That is quicker than a click of a finger. Brenden Chatley finishes in the third position. Colton Lane fourth. Austin Hunter comes back to finish in the fifth position. Brandon Walter, Alan Hilton finishes seventh. Adam Young comes back to an eighth place run, so he'll have a little something to brag back to Sean about. Matt Ridgway and Robert Beasall Jr. finish in 10th there, Joey.
And down in 11th, Charles Sumner, the subject of many orange jokes today. Thomas Sink ended up 12th. Brian Brett Adams ended up in 13th, followed by Jonathan Nance, who we didn't see much of today. Then another Adams, Brandon Adams in 15th. William Hartman, a good comeback from being the lucky dog, finishing 16th. Nicholas Hunter in the 109 ended up 17th. Then another Adam Zemke. Mark Kalin led a bunch of laps and ended up 19th. And Baron Hilton in P20.
And then looking at the rest of our field here, as you see 19 trucks are on the lead lap. Knight, Calgill, Jose Medina finishes 23rd. Tough break as it looked like he had a shot to win this thing. Shelby Huff finishing 24th. John LaBaff 25th. Doug Evans 26th. Adam Shane, Dominic Begin, and then the rest of these trucks, I believe, finished off the track. Greg Corzin, GT Hawkins, and Nicholas Fearless Schwartz finishing 31st in this race when it is all said and done. But Buddy, I did it. I told you it would happen one time tonight. Bradley Hawley. I knew I was going to call you Buddy one time tonight. And it happens in Victory Lane where, Buddy, you get the victory. There, I reference him like a friend now. Bradley Hawley, nice job on the pass there on the last lap. Let's talk about that. Talk about your strategy there as it came to the last lap there to get that win and get that pass on JR.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting him to protect the bottom with how fresh our tires were. I mean, that was where you needed to be. But I mean, strategy-wise, I was just trying different things other than what I do in PRL, just to do some testing, since I could basically get away with it, and basically what I figured out kind of worked out a little bit.
So let's talk a little bit about tonight, because you got obviously a race night where we're raising money for great charities, not-for-profits, and people that obviously we're trying to keep our pets safe and even seeing adopting and things like that. So Bradley, talk about this race and how it impacts you personally, and how cool it is to win that race.
It impacts me a lot. I recently lost my German Shepherd a few months back, and recently adopted another German Shepherd 2 months ago. All my dogs have been rescues, so when Brenden said he wanted to do a charity race, that was definitely something I wanted to sign up for and contribute to.
Well, it's great to see, obviously, be able to bring in, obviously, another family member. Obviously, sorry about the loss of the previous family member there, but great story to hear, and it just shows how important it is to see us rescuing dogs and that kind of thing, because there's just too many in these shelters and so on and so forth. But you did a great job this evening. You represented Texas well, and brought them to victory lane here in Michigan. Send shout outs, whoever you'd like to, man.
I definitely want to thank Brenden for putting this race on. I feel like we need to put out more races like this so we can get more awareness for getting more people to adopt dogs. I'd like to thank you guys for broadcasting us and the Waterback crew.
Well, you did a great job tonight in that North Star Title 184 truck. Congratulations on the win. Thank you for being a part of this and allowing us to be a part of this. And yeah, you got something to kind of bolster that chest out a little bit at. You're like, yeah, I won tonight's race.
Yep.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bradley. And we're going to go check out Joey. I believe he's got the second place finisher, J.R. Smith.
Yep, J.R. Smith at the line, 0.016 seconds between you and victory. What were you thinking on the run to the line there?
Yeah, that one stings a little bit. With the big runs people were getting, it was hard to decide which lane I wanted to do going into 3, and Obviously, I picked the wrong one, but I was hoping I'd get a little bit of shove from behind, but just wasn't meant to be today.
But something I noticed with the front two cars, Bradley Holly went from fourth to first, and you went from third to second. We saw a lot of shuffling in the field with the abundance of cautions in today's race, but we always saw the same couple of drivers coming out on front. What do you think gave you an advantage overall today?
Yeah, I think I have a little bit of experience. I'm used to how these cars kind of drive, and it's when you have a lot of laps, you can kind of know what to expect. And I think I really applied that today, just keeping up front. Even when I got a little bit of contact, just kept cool, made sure I saved my fast repair, and then I was there at the end.
And something I hope will make your second place finish sting a little less is, of course, tonight was for a good cause, a good charity. Do you have any good pet stories you'd like to share with us? Share with the people?
I don't know about stories, but I got a cat and a dog, and I love them to death. So it was nice for Rescue Racing and Brenden Chatley to put this on, and it was fun to raise some money from the puppies.
Indeed, it's always good to raise money for a good cause. And I guess to finish it out, do you have anyone you want to thank for your second place finish tonight?
Yeah, again, just Rescue Racing, Brenden Chatley, all my team, everyone who's part of this tonight. Thank you all for broadcasting. It was just a good, fun night.
Indeed, it was. And speak of the devil, guess who's in the booth? It's Brenden Chatley with Chris.
Yeah, Brenden joins me this evening, the man that pretty much helped put this whole thing together, and the only driver not from Texas to finish in the top three. So there's something too you can hold your hat on there, Brenden. But let's talk about the racing, because you had to fight your way up and down through the field, and you come back to a third place finish. What did it take first off? But second off, what could you have done different to maybe get yourself up there with the top two and potentially win that race?
I was able to stay out of traffic or out of the wrecks. I had 0 incidents, so
Wow.
it was stay clean the entire race. Just pitted for tires, and I made one slight error there. I think it was the last restart. Went to the inside of JR and tried to take the lead there, and allowed Brad to get outside of me, and so just able to or had to follow them for the last few laps, and I think that might have cost me the shot at the win.
Now, Brenden, obviously tonight was all about, of course, the great people that work at these, local humane societies and non-for-profit places all around America that help try to save these dogs and even cats and other pets that are saved pretty much, and we have to try to find homes for them. And obviously, this is something that means a lot to you because you've helped put this event together. Talk about one, what made you come up with this idea, and two, talk about the impact for you and how much you've seen everybody come together as a community to put this event on.
So the whole idea of the whole rescue racing team that we have was my dog. He's a rescue, and
Mhm.
I don't know where I would be without him right now. So I wanted to do something to pretty much pay him back, but also helping other dogs and other, I guess, humans too, adopting these animals, because it's not just us saving them; they save us sometimes. And then to your second point, I just have to thank all the drivers in the PRL Truck Series for sending in their donations for their entries fees to this. I really wasn't expecting to get 32 drivers signed up and raising $350 just for this
Wow.
event. So it's it was awesome, actually.
And not to mention the stuff you guys have raised throughout the years. So, um, if somebody were to walk up to you, I'm gonna kind of put you slightly on the spot here. If somebody were to walk up to you and ask, okay, why should I rescue a dog? What's your answer?
You're not just rescuing them; they're rescuing you too. They're just so loyal, and my dog's just been sitting here, laying on the couch right next to me this entire race, and just never leaves your side. Always there for you.
Perfect. So there you go. There's another reason why you guys need to go out there and be a part of this. But Brenden, we appreciate you allowing us at GSRC to be a part of this. Great job tonight finishing third, and appreciate the Established Traffic Control, obviously the sponsor on your truck there, matched some donations tonight from what we read. And we appreciate what you did, and congrats on your third, and best of luck, obviously, in the future.
Hey, thanks guys for putting this on as well.
Absolutely, Brenden Chatley finishing in the third position. And Joey, it looks like we caught up with Austin Hunter.
Yep, we got one more driver for you, the 5th place finisher, Austin Hunter in the 312, about 6/10 off the lead in the end. How do you think your race went?
It was a pretty up and down race for me. Had some good moments, some bad moments, but overall it was a lot of fun. I do want to make sure I apologize to the two for hooking them there at the line, but just thought I could get underneath them without hitting them, but it happens.
Something we saw a lot today was cautions. We saw a lot of crashes over the entirety of the race. They were pretty well spread out. How did you figure out how to survive all of them? How were you still running at the finish?
I got lucky that I didn't get a lot of damage until the end there when I kind of door banged Adam Zemke in one of those last cautions. So I was able to save my fast repair till the end. That's kind of why we had so many cautions, is because we threw in a fast repair tonight, but we wanted to make sure that, we had a good show to put on at the end, and I really think we did.
And of course, tonight was for rescue racing for the charity. I noticed on the front of your truck, I believe it says Camo Animal Rescue. Do you want to talk about a little bit about what they do?
Yes, Camo Animal Rescue is they're here in Houston, Texas, where I'm at. We've been a part of them for several years. I adopted my dog Tyke from there. My parents got 2 of their dogs from them. They're just such a great organization that help a lot of animals, and not just in the state of Texas. They actually linked with another group called Pilots and Paws, where they get dogs from Louisiana and stuff, and they get flown over so they can help them and save them. So it's such a cool organization, and I'm so glad we were able to help raise a lot of money for them tonight.
Indeed, it's always great to use this silly little thing we do to raise money for an actual good cause. And of course, you have the charities on your car. Is there anyone else you want to thank before the end of tonight?
Yeah, I just want to thank Brenden Chatley for starting the team and starting the race. A lot of the guys from the PRL, Precision Racing League, glad that they came out on this holiday night for us. And all the guys at Waterback Racing as well. A lot of them came out and even donated extra money on top of the entry fee to help us out tonight. So it was really cool to see one of our friends in victory lane.
Indeed, it was great stuff, and I think it's finally time to take us out. Chris, what do you have for us?
Well, we got a fun night of racing is what we got this evening, and we definitely appreciate everyone for being a part of the Adopt an Underdog 124, for being a part of the being a part of this race. Is just so cool, and just to see the money that's being raised, and it's never too late to do so. So make sure you do check out donate.rescue-racing.com. And of course, we do want to say a special thank you to all the viewers who donated this evening, also to the drivers and other volunteers who helped put this thing together. And before we continue on here and get out of here, I do want to ask real quickly, Joey, your thoughts on tonight's race, man. How'd you feel?
I don't think I could summarize that in the next hour. This was such a chaotic race. So much happened. We had a good finish. We had people flipping and flying all across the line. It's good that we had a good race for a good cause. Happy tonight worked out so well.
It was a fun night, but Joey, it was fun to broadcast with you, and it was our first time working together. Actually, first time we even verbally met each other was an hour before we got on the air. So it was fun to work with you, man, and maybe we'll do it again someday.
One day. Maybe another one of these charity races. Let's do this every week. Let's raise money for these people all the time.
I'm good with that, so let's do that. But also, just want to thank Rescue Racing eSports for allowing GSRC for being a part of the race. And a reminder, again, go to donate.rescue-racing.com to help raise awareness for animal rescues and know Kill Shelters. Thanks to the team today. Of course, Sean Ambrose, good to be back with my buddy. Appreciate Tim reaching out to me yesterday and saying, hey, dude, get your butt back up here in the booth. We need you. And I was like, let's go. Let's rock. And so thanks, Sean, for reaching out to me. Of course, Joey Tebben for being a part of the broadcast. And look, let's be honest, the cameraman himself, or as I like to call him, Dougie B, the Camera G. He, of course, helped us out this evening. And, of course, thanks to all the sponsors and stuff that you see there on the screens, everybody that has helped out a part of the broadcast. If you want to find out more about GSRC's upcoming races and so much more, you can see the calendar that's on your screen right about now at globalsimracingchannel.com, just like Precision Racing League running at Watkins Glen with Das Boot. You see it right there on the screen, so make sure you do that. You can also check out the social media stuff, Twitter at GSR channel, Facebook at facebook.com/Global SimRacing Channel, Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And if you would like to support the channel, you can check out the merchandise store at gsrc.storenvy.com. The link is in the description down below. Again, mention the other races upcoming up on the screen there, so make sure you check those out. Mark them down on your calendar. Precision Racing Cup Series coming up January 3rd at Watkins Glen also. But until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.